So I've been in situations where I've lost myself completely as a mother. I look at myself in the mirror and I was just seeing this very lost, empty woman. And this is a woman who back home in Nigeria started a business at 8 months old, heavily pregnant, went to the market, and she started picking clothes so she would sell on social media, started a business from nothing. Just because I don't want to say that is the woman that I was. And then in this new place, I find myself struggling. Right? I felt like my children were, because my children had to stay home for a long time, so I couldn't walk. In that phase of my life, I felt like they were a hindrance. That's a fact. I felt like, so now being a mother in Canada,
It
is
means
now
that
my life. I had to pause my life for my children to figure my children's life out before my
before
life
you.
starts.
Wow.
If you understand me. So in that season of my life, I felt lost. I felt helpless. But then I ran back to God. I was like, I'm letting go. I cannot control this. I am helpless. I feel like I'm losing myself. But I know that you can help me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 19 of the Dairy Mom podcast. My name is Diana Ade. I am the founder and CEO of the Dairy Mom. We inspire, educate, and empower mothers who may be struggling to reclaim their dreams or who may have temporarily set aside their ambitions due to the demands of motherhood. On the Dairy Mom podcast, we bring you powerful stories from audacious mothers around the world who defy societal expectations and harness their strength to juggle both roles of motherhood and the pursuit of their personal and professional ambitions successfully. Before we continue today's conversation, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of our new subscribers, and thank you to all who have been with us from the beginning. I appreciate you all very much. If you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please do so by hitting our subscribe button. This helps our channel to grow. Today's episode is the first part of our two-part series on motherhood, a journey of transformation. February is Black History Month, and we want to learn about the transformational journey of a mother who immigrated from Nigeria to Canada few years ago with her family and is now making strides. To steer this conversation, we are honored to have no other person than the trailblazer, Sophia Etuhube, join us on today's podcast. Sophia Etuhube is an award-winning journalist, trailblazer, speaker, storyteller, MC, mentor, coach, and writer of Dear Immigrant, a Love Note. As a journalist, she currently works as a reporter and editor at a reputable news network in Fredericton. Before her current role, she worked as a video producer in Nigeria. Sophia holds a master's degree in organizational management from Crandall University and a bachelor's degree in linguistics from the University of Nigeria. She's passionate about sharing positivity through her work and life experiences. She's a wife and a mother of 3 children. Let me quickly mention that at the time of recording this episode, Sophia was a mother of 2 children. Today, she's been blessed with a beautiful baby, making her a proud mother of 3 children. We want to say a big congratulations to Sophia on her bundle of joy. If you're ready for today's episode, grab your pens and notebooks and join me as I speak to our special guest. Hello, Sophia. Welcome to the Dairy Mom podcast. How are you doing today?
Hello, Diana. I am fine. I have had one kind of a day, but I am good. Thank you.
You look amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that.
I love the green everything.
Oh yeah, I'm a lover of green. I like green mixed with
Beautiful.
turquoise and everything. That's like what does it for me. Yeah, so
I love that.
Yeah, so thank you so much. And today I know we are going to have a very interesting conversation because I checked your profile. I'm like, you are a power woman, like superwoman, super mom.
I I try my best.
You try,
Try
but
my
you know,
best.
like I'm so excited because I know after this interview we are going to go like boom out there because
Let's do
you
that.
yeah, let's do it. So can you walk us through your background? Usually that's how we start our conversation. We want to know a little bit about Sophia, the award-winning journalist, the Nigerian journalist who works for Canada Broadcasting Corporation.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you,
Woo!
thank you, thank you,
I like
thank you.
that one. Now that's some big inspiration there.
Yes, yes,
That's big.
yes.
That's really big, and
Thank you so
we
much.
want to know
You are such
what
a hype
childhood was
girl.
like for you, and we'll come to your award. We'll come to all of that, but we want to know who is Sophia. How did you grow up? What was the life like for you, and how did you find yourself here in Canada?
Hmm. Well, thank you. You're such a hype girl. I like that. You're my kind of woman.
Right.
Oh my God. Okay, so my name is Sophia Etuhube. I am from Nigeria. I am a mother of two, and I have been married for 6 years, going on seven.
Wow.
And I am from Imo State back in Nigeria, but currently I reside in Canada,
Okay.
New Brunswick, and I live in Fredericton. So I live in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada, and I have been here for 2 years and 9 months.
Wow.
Two
Two
years.
years and nine
Just
months.
2 years and nine
And
months.
you're already winning the awards.
Girl, we don't take it easy on
I
anybody.
tell
No,
you.
no. We keep going. We keep going. God is out. God is behind us, so we keep
Right.
going.
Right.
So, Sophia is a firm believer in her faith. I'm a firm believer in God. I am a Christian. I grew up in a family of 10. I have five brothers and I have five sisters.
Wow.
And
That's such a
my
perfect number.
my mom and my dad, we were actually a full football squad because if you add mommy and daddy,
That's
we
like
were 12. So we had, the coach, the keeper, and everything. We were complete. And then we lived in this three-bedroom that my daddy had. We had a family house, and then we had to live in a three-bedroom flat. And we had cousins,
wow.
brothers and sisters and people from all over who were, living with us. So sometimes on a good day when you come to my house in that tiny three-bedroom, you would see like 16, 15, 20 people. So I grew up around people. So I have always been a people person.
Person.
I think that was like where it all started. And I also lean towards the kind of person that my dad was. He was a very sociable person. He was principled, but he was social. He loved people. He was always out there doing community stuff, helping community people. My mother, on the other hand, was also like that. And she was like a power woman, had her
Wow.
business, raised her kids,
Wow.
and then just, lived her best life. And she did a lot of great stuff. So, after a while, I went out from home and I studied at the University of Nigeria
Okay.
in Nsukka. After that, I got married, I had kids, and we moved to Canada just 2 years ago.
Wow.
And I have a master's degree from Crandall University in
Wow.
organizational management. And currently, I work with the Canadian Broadcast Corporation. I'm a journalist.
Wow.
I'm a reporter and an editor, award-winning journalist, I might say.
Thank
I
you.
must
Thank you.
say.
Thank you for emphasizing that.
I must say. So my life has just been like me, God, and just all
Family.
the other things that He has for me, my family, my career, impacting other people, because that's where my life is currently now.
Right.
Using my story, my experiences to impact, anyone
Wow.
who's out there, because you
Wow.
never know who's listening. That's
Exactly.
kind of who Sophie is. And I'm also a coach, I'm a
Okay.
mentor, I'm an MC, And I do a lot of community stuff. So my weekends are always, you always find me volunteering somewhere.
Wow.
I'm always
Wow.
out in the community, just, trying to do my own bits.
Wow, wow. This is like amazing to start
Thank
with
you.
because like I'm blown away. Because like coming from Nigeria and then you're literally like less than 3 years, but
Mm.
you are like way up there. I want to
Well,
I want you to walk us through childhood a bit. You observed your parents, and like you said, you had a very large family. Your father was, a community man. Your mother was doing her own thing. Like your mother had 10 of you, and, and she still had
yeah.
like her business going. And would you say motherhood to you was something you observed from your mother, and did you get the inspiration to become a mother from what you saw growing up, or like I have other guests who tell me, oh, did I really think about motherhood like as an inspiration, or I just had to do it because it's what you
Yeah.
do, like
Hmm.
what
Hmm.
was it like for you? What did you see growing up, and how did that influence your decision to becoming a mother?
So for me, I think I come from the generation where our mothers were just, in, they were almost like invincible and their needs were not really being met.
Mm,
So, they always went out to just do their stuff, just, try to get their own lives and do something for themselves.
yeah.
So I wouldn't exactly say that I started thinking, I always wanted kids. I always loved kids, right?
Right.
I wouldn't exactly say at the time I was 15, 16, I was getting inspiration from my mom or anybody. I was just, when it was time for me to, start having kids, I looked at, what? I would actually say yes.
Okay.
I looked at what I had from my parents, my mom. I looked at her life, the good, the bad, and I looked at what my sisters also had because a lot they got married before me.
Okay.
I looked at what they had, how they were raising their kids. And one of the core things that stuck with me
Okay.
that I would say inspired how I'm currently raising my kids would be the fact that my mom, my sisters were very grounded in the faith.
Okay.
They're very grounded in God. So I knew for a start, rule number one when you become a mother, you must be grounded in Christ.
In Christ, right?
So yeah, so yes, exactly. So that is the thing I would say I was inspired
Okay.
from my mom and my sisters. And then my mom was a powerhouse, right? She had her own business. She had 10 children. I'm not sure I can do 10. I'm sorry. So she was a strong woman.
I can
So
I can see that.
I was inspired to see that if she could raise,
10.
10, if she could even go into the labor room 10 times or how many times she went, then there's nothing I can face in this journey that I cannot
That
overcome.
you can't overcome.
Rest her soul. And I remember that immediately I had my first child, the first person I wanted to talk to was my mother.
Yeah.
Everything, like, how sometimes we used to say, mommy did this, mommy did that.
Mm-hmm.
You hold a grudge. Sometimes, there's this thing mommy did. I will never forget. The day I
I
had my
know.
son. Ah, I say,
Everything
oh
is
my
obvious.
mother,
Mommy, I'm
oh my
sorry.
mother, oh my mother, what is this? This is what you did almost 10 times?
Yeah.
No, you're not an ordinary woman. Every, I don't want to use the word grudge, but every way I used to see my mom
Changed.
changed. She
Wow.
became the perfect person.
All of a sudden.
There's nothing you can tell me about her. Like, because I'm like, oh my God, what is this life and death situation right now? So, so yeah, I was inspired by her strength, you
Yeah.
know. And then she was very resilient. She was a go-getter. She wanted something. She
Yeah.
goes for it. And she was always also helping people.
Okay.
So I was inspired by
Love
that when I,
that.
became a mother. You understand me? She had 10 children, so you don't expect it to be easy for her to be present all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why I mentioned earlier that I looked at the good and I looked at the side, the things that were there that I wouldn't want or that I didn't like as a child. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take all this other part of Momsy, my sisters as parents, and I'm going to add it to what my own journey. But this other side that I really did not like as a child, I'm also gonna not, go there.
Not go
Yeah.
there. Not
So
go there.
one way or the other, we're always influenced by people,
By
regardless.
people. Right.
Yes. So it's just for you to make the choice of, I'm going to be inspired by the good or be inspired by the bad.
Bad,
But
bad.
I feel like my mom was a superwoman. She just recently passed, rest her soul.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. My
Rest, I didn't get to
condolences.
see her. Thank you. I didn't get to see her because we had just moved and we had not
Ah,
gone back.
yeah.
So rest her soul. But I honestly only remember her in a very perfect way. That's the
Exactly.
funny thing. I only
Exactly.
remember her as, this woman that was just, fighting for herself, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
So
she
so
inspired me.
for you, you had your kids in Canada, am I right? Or you had them
No,
back? Okay, you had the kids
I
in.
had both of them in Nigeria before we moved.
Okay. So how was support for you when you became a mother? Seeing what you saw, like your mother was a superwoman. She had 10 children, but she still had a business going. She still wanted what she wanted for herself, and she
Hmm.
pursued it. I would say your mother was the dairy mom, and when you became a mother, like you said, you were wondering how did she do this, and then all of a sudden, like any perception you had about her, changed from any seemingly negative thing to positive all of a sudden. After observing how your mother raised you and seeing that she was a super mom, she had 10 of you, and she still had her life going. She pursued her passion, and she was still helping people. She was an entrepreneur. Like,
Hmm.
I really wish I could meet your mom back then and say I salute you, mom. And then you suddenly, finding yourself, in the labor room and going like, oh my god, how did you do this, and how did you do this almost 10 times, and all that. How did motherhood change your perception about life? How did it change your mindset? What was it that was, very shocking for you, and how did you navigate the new terrain?
Um, for me, motherhood changed me in many ways because I would say motherhood broke me, but at the same time, it repaired me. I think that's a beautiful thing about being a mom, right?
Yeah.
You go through this very hectic, terrifying 9 months journey, and then boom, you're surrounded by all these strange doctors. And for me, I didn't used to go to the hospital. I was a perfect, healthy girl.
Oh, you
Yeah, I didn't
good.
used to fall sick and I didn't like hospitals. And then all of a sudden, these people are making decisions about me and everything. So motherhood started making me responsible. It started making me change my mindset towards how I see people. Motherhood started making me understand that you need to also ask for help because I am a very strong-willed, independent
I
person.
can see that.
I barely ask people for help. I'm
Okay.
always the one who is like, oh, I'm gonna do it. Oh,
Right.
I'm gonna do it. I'm always the one who is in the front line saying, you don't even have to ask me and I'm gonna do it.
I'll do this for you.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I didn't used to ask for help. But with motherhood and the way my life was in the hands of all these people, the nurses, the doctors, and everybody, just because of this tiny person that I don't even know, right? This tiny person that is about to come and take my independence away and everything. I relied so much on the decisions of these doctors and these people. And that just showed me that the role that people has to play in our lives is so much. Like the dependency of like your level of dependency on people should not be taken for granted. It should not be taken for granted. You need people. And that was where that mindset just like hit. It just struck me that you can't really do life on your own, right? You might be the strongest person in the world, but you see, when you go into that labor room and the doctor says it's a knife or a scissors, you can't even decide. You can't even say, no, I don't like knives, so you want to kill me? No, you cannot do that, right? You're completely at the expense of these people. And what that does to you is to just, it it opens you up to an to a level of understanding of this supremacy of God. It opens you up to see that like God is real. Motherhood opened me up to see like my life, my faith, everything changed when I held my children. My
Your
first
first
son,
child.
I was like, God, this thing, this experience, this person came out from me. It means there is God. Like this is a literal evidence of what it is to know that there is God. So it makes you see the value in people, and then it also opened me up to experience God in ways that I had not experienced it as a single woman, who was just, all about herself. You understand me? And another thing, motherhood helped me, the perception it also came with, was also the fact that when you become a mother, when you become a mother, you become the most important person in this life. I know people want to say your children come first or everything, but with motherhood, you come first. With
Right.
motherhood, if you die on that hospital bed, that's it. Someone is going to come in and step into that shoe. Might not be biological, whatever, but your child might grow up calling some random person mother. So it clicks to me. The longer I stay a mother, it continues to strike me that as a mother, you're the most integral part of your life, your child's life, and your family life. You come first. If you shut down, it would affect your children, it would affect your husband. So, people, God, and
You.
you cannot take that for granted. That
Wow.
was what it did for me.
Wow. Like,
It
this is
broke me
this is
because I was
very.
a strong, independent woman. Like you cannot sit me at a place. I'm sorry. I didn't even date for long. I didn't date, and my husband just came and just married me off. I didn't do all those things, and God did not want me to do anything. He just sent man, and it just ended in boom. We went on a couple of dates. Boom.
That's
I have
it.
a baby. I'm married. Oh my God. Right?
Wow.
So I was living my life, and I used to avoid men a lot. I used to just, stay on my own, go to work, do my thing, go take myself out on dates. I was that girl, right? And then all of a sudden, people were seeing cards flying all around that she's getting married. Boom, she's taking maternity shoots. Oh, boom, she had a baby. I don't
Wow.
think I'm awake from how the whole thing happened.
Yes.
It's over 6 years.
It's been 6 years and you're still not awake.
No, God humbled me. God humbled me with knowledge
Motherhood
of
humbled
motherhood.
you guys.
It tamed me was and it taught me to slow down. That's another great thing motherhood has, lesson it has taught me. I'm a very fast-paced person. I don't know how to slow down. I
Like,
don't take deep breaths. I
you
don't.
just go, go,
I
go, go, go.
go, go, go. My whole life, I go, go. I was that girl. My mother was worried. everybody was worried this girl is gonna get herself in trouble. But I never got in trouble. But I was a go, 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 go. And I didn't used to be afraid of anything or anybody, right?
Wow. Wow.
And then I became a mother. And then I started seeing myself as a different person. Everything just took a swipe. It was like the old me never existed. People who knew me in university, when they see me now, sure they are baffled. They are like,
What happened to this woman?
so yeah.
Wow. Motherhood will show you.
Ah, it will show you pepper. It will show you pepper. Just eat the pepper and drink
I just
water.
drink water. But you made a very profound statement, and I want to come back to how did the motherhood impact your ambitions, because before you became a mother, you were this go girl, like nobody stops you, nobody gets in your way, you knew what you wanted to become, and then boom, motherhood came, and you were like, you have to slow down. You are realizing the importance of people. You are realizing that I matter, and that is a very very powerful statement, because most often we are taught, especially in our society. Like, I'm also African, just like you, and when we become mothers, it's like, give off yourself for your child, and it's like everything is okay. Your child. But what about you? What about you as an individual? Like that, like you. It's as if you don't exist, and it's as if nobody cares. And it's something I've even realized, that even when somebody's coming to lend you a hand to support your children, it's like nobody cares about you. It's only about the kid. Oh, how are the kids doing? Nobody really asks, how are you doing? How are you okay? Are you well? And I'm just like, okay, wait a minute. Why is nobody thinking about me anymore? Should we let go of ourselves? What? So how did you? How let me bring the question down again. How did motherhood pose as a threat to your ambitions? To the girl you envisioned yourself to become before motherhood. Did it pose as a threat to your ambitions? And if it did, how did you manage to navigate that? Because now you are an award-winning journalist. You work with Canada Broadcasting Corporation, if I say that right. And forgive me if those of you watching, I'm not mentioning the full name, right? But that's a big position to find yourself in, being in Canada under less than 3 years. So I'm thinking there was a change somewhere. Something might have happened. So walk us through that transition. Walk us through that transition.
Do not give up.
Okay.
My sister, you see that dream? You see that ambition? Do not give up. The thing, the problem is that when we become new parents, you understand me? A lot of us have not also understood that it's going to slow us down. The slow down, sorry, is not to like bring you down, or do you understand me?
Yeah.
It's actually give you time to re-strategize,
Okay.
re-empower yourself,
Right.
rebrand yourself, rebuild yourself, and then you shoot again.
Ah.
That is what I am just realizing after moving to Canada.
Okay.
On motherhood does not like, let me use the right word. Motherhood does not take from you.
Okay.
It gives to you.
Okay.
Why did you wake up to say you're going to do this beautiful podcast? I'm sure you're looking at your daughter who's going to grow up in the next couple of years, and she's going to be like, that is my mom.
Right. Right.
You became a mother for this to happen,
Yeah.
Diana.
Yeah.
But sometimes we lose ourselves. And that's when we are in the wrong environment. When we're with the wrong partners and the wrong support system. The friends that pull you down. The friends that just tell you, please go and focus on your children. Like you said, what about me?
Oh, me.
I was that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have met, there was a point in my life where we used to say my mom was jealous of my sister because of how close my sister was to my dad, right? And now we're in a generation where women know they agree. You cannot come and take my place in my husband's heart. So you cannot also come and take my place in the world,
Right.
right? I
Right.
need to have a place for my children to have any place, Diana.
Yeah.
I literally need to participate, be active, be something for my children to know that they can be something, right? This whether reflection of the only reflection of life these children has for up to like 16 years until they become adults is you as a mother, is you as a father. The boys are looking at their dad. If daddy strikes a girl, well, I'm gonna strike a girl, right? If daddy drinks and if daddy is a lazy man,
I'm gonna do the same because that's what I saw.
exactly, you've already given them a pattern. So it will slow things down. Of course, you just went through hell and back,
Yeah.
darling.
Yeah.
You went to the theater. They tore you open. I am a two-time C-section mother. The woman that I have become right now is because I woke up one morning and I know that two people were depending on me the rest of their life until adulthood, of course, right?
Right.
The fact that if I don't eat as a breastfeeding mother, my baby's not going to eat. That is so empowering. That is so, that is such superpowers that you possess, regardless of how small or how, like, the world wants to make, motherhood looks. Motherhood is supposed to give you so much more. Like, you're supposed to find layers of yourself that nobody can take away from you when you become a mother. The only problem here is the environment that we find ourselves, right? Sometimes, of course, motherhood is very tasking. And when you're overwhelmed, there are chances that you might lose sight of who you are, right?
Right. Right.
And your strengths and all your ambitions and everything would just become, like a backseater, because right now everyone around you just feels like your only responsibility is to this, little human being. But that's not it,
That's not it.
right?
That's not it.
That's not it, right? So it's the environment also that either amplifies you as a mother
Or
or
diminishes you.
diminishes you.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's the people you find yourself with. We've met women, we've seen women who have very terrible in-laws who just make them feel, oh, you had a baby girl, and then they begin to rubbish you as a woman, and your power just diminishes. You become invincible, and all of that. We've seen women who, because you had a C-section, people tell you that, why would you have a C-section? Like, what is that? Can't
It,
you be
it's
like other women?
it's almost as if you didn't give birth because you had a C-section.
I had a C-section. We've seen women who their husbands are not very supportive or loving or validating. Yeah. So we've seen when you're around those kind of situations, how are you going to fly? You're tired. You have a baby on your bosom 247. How are you going to fly? So sometimes it's not the mother's will to lose herself. You know, it is the fact that she doesn't have those other voices echoing and reminding her who you are.
How powerful you are as a woman.
You know that a lot of us, our mothers were just always in church. It was the older I got that I realized that a lot of our mothers did not have people echoing and validating their power. So they went looking for that in church.
Ah, ah,
They
that
went
is
looking for that. They went back to God. They went back to the only person
trying to
who sees
connect.
you and can tell you that regardless, you're fine, you're okay, you're beautiful, you're perfect, you're a strong woman, right? So, and this generation, women are picking up on that. Women are no longer sitting around waiting for people to, help them through this situation. We have women who are depressed during postpartum, and
Exactly.
people tell them that everybody is have babies. I don't understand why your own is being different.
To almost make it look like what you're experiencing is nothing. Like,
Nothing, right? So when you have the wrong voices in your
gosh,
head going through that it's life transforming, like a 360 swipe that never comes back to normal.
yeah,
You can never be 18 again.
no,
Your body can never feel how it felt 10 years ago
no,
again.
no,
You know, things are going to change about you physically, mentally, emotionally, in your career. You might wake up from that bed and you decide, I want to be a surgeon because of how these people treated me. If you do not have the right people,
people, the right
the
people.
right resources available to empower you to become that person, she's going to die,
Gosh,
right?
oh my
So
gosh.
I have experienced that. I've had situations where, like, I wanted someone to just, validate, to remind me who I was, especially when I moved to Canada. Do you understand me? I was going through I just become a mother a couple of years ago. Now I'm in a new country. I have to adjust to being a mother here. I really just wanted people. I'm always feeding people what I know they need to hear. But when I moved to Canada, I wanted people to tell me those things.
You to remind you of who you were.
And I was so fortunate that there were a couple of people that God just placed on my path who were reminding me. Remember the Sophia the Sophie that left home and went to Lagos, and they thought she was not going to make it, but she made
She
it.
made it.
You know, those people, I had a few of them. And I had my husband too, who was also there to every now and then just, be a reminder of, the good choice I have made. you know, like, so he tells me, like, oh, you'll be fine, and all of that. People who affirm you, people who remind you of the woman that you are and the potentials that is still in front of her. People who tell you that this phase is not going to last, though. Don't worry, it's gonna pass, This whole first year in Canada, you're just trying to get things together. The second year gets better. I had a couple of people like that. So I've been in situations where I've lost myself completely as a mother. I look at myself in the mirror and I was just seeing this very lost, empty woman. And this is a woman who back home in Nigeria started a business at 8 months old, heavily pregnant, went to the market, and she started picking clothes so she would sell on social media. Started a business from nothing. I just went from the COVID hit, and then a lot of us lost our jobs and stuff like that. We had to be home, and I was pregnant, and I didn't want to stay home with the COVID and everything. Pregnant, I put my mask on. I went to the market in Nigeria. I bought clothes. I took pictures of them, posted on Instagram, and I started a business just because I don't want to stay. That is the woman that I was. And then in this new place, I find myself struggling, right? And and if you don't have people who holds you, who supports you, who guides you through that feelings. I felt like my children were, because my children had to stay home for a long time, so I couldn't walk. In that phase of my life, I felt like they were a hindrance. That's a fact. I felt like, so now being a mother in Canada
It
is
means
now
that I'm just like I can't do anything with my
I'm a
life
nobody. My life, I had to pause my life for my children to figure my children's life out before my
before
life
you.
starts.
Wow.
If you understand me. So, in that season of my life, I felt lost. I felt helpless. But then I ran back to God. Like our mothers, I ran. I think, like I told you, that's the one thing that I would be so grateful for my mother for ever raising me with God, in church. I ran back to God. I was like, I'm letting go. I cannot control this. I am helpless. I feel like I'm losing myself, but I know that you can help me. And the honest truth was immediately I just released myself from that pressure. That mindset that I have lost something, that I have lost myself. I realized that there was really nothing broken. This was just the season.
Wow.
You're in a new place. Where are you rushing to? You just had a baby 4 months ago. Where are you
Why are you
rushing?
rushing to?
So sometimes it's that we need to see this person just started a business. Me, I'm just here watching children.
Changing diapers.
Hey, this person just traveled to Mozambique or Mexico or Bahamas, and I'm just here chasing these children up and down. Guys, your mates are 6 feet below.
Oh my God.
So it would slow you down. It
Yeah.
would slow you down. And that's slowing you down. Let me also say this. When that season when you find yourself that motherhood is slowing you down, I found this new woman, you see, this whole thing you read about me and said about me. I found her in the lowest moment of my life as a mother.
Wow.
When I went through that phase, when I experienced my son being kicked out of daycare a couple of times,
My gosh.
and I was like, I'm gonna be XYZ because I don't want other people to go through what I go through.
Wow.
I'm on this podcast because of that season of my life.
Wow.
You understand me?
I understand you.
It reactivated some things in me. So that's why I say it doesn't completely take away from you. It's just being in the wrong, with the wrong people, and then they feed, instead of seeing you, they just, cover you up. Help you cover yourself up. Motherhood is kind of like a covering.
Right.
You understand me? So people, instead of helping you to pull off the covers,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
They just dump the duvet on you, dump the carpets, the trash and everything on you. So don't give up. It might seem like there's a pause in your life right now, but 10 years from now, you're going to look at your life and you're like, where was I running to?
Motherhood does not take from you, it gives to you. So if there seems to be a pause on your life due to motherhood, don't give up. You are definitely going to bounce back even better and stronger. Wow. Such powerful words from our special guest, Sophia Etuhube. We'll take a break here. We'll bring you a part 2 of our conversation with Sophia next Sunday in episode 20. Be sure not to miss it. We want to thank you for staying with us up until this point. If you want to connect with Sophia, you can find her on LinkedIn at Sophia Etuhube. You can also find her on Instagram at Living with Sophia. You'll find the links to her social media pages in the description of this video. If you want to connect with the Dairy Mom, you'll find us on LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook at the Dairy Mom, and on Instagram, you'll find us at I am_the Dairy Mom. We want to thank you once again for joining us in today's episode. And as we wrap up, my question to you is, what is your hashtag, the Dairy Mom story? Join me and let's do this together. My name is Diana Ade, and I am the Dairy Mom.